Here we go again with Beyond the Gates. I don't have high energy today, so I hope we don't have a boring episode, but my prediction is, judging by the preview to today's show, it will unfortunately be another boring one. As always, I will say I'm watching live on Paramount Plus, so it will be a minute behind CBS, most likely anybody watching on CBS, and I will be loudly typing notes. Hopefully, the chat will be lively today when people join so that they can keep me awake during today's episode. Hello, Aaliyah. Welcome back. Never a good start starting with Ashley and Grayson. Terrible. Hello, Embers Kelly. Welcome back. Here's our new chief of staff. Hello, Bochala. Welcome back. Hello, Catherine. Welcome. Ted gonna sweet talk Monica about Shanice. More of Tomas. What? Yeah, Bocella, not a great start with Grayson and Ashley. Embers Kelly says Grayson and Ashley being in a relationship so fast is weird to me. Aaliyah says Tomas doesn't want to be a kept man. I mean, what the fuck is he even talking about? Embers Kelly says Tomas be on that BS. Hello, Lorena, who says Tater Tot is mad. Welcome back, Z Hicks. Oh, some of y'all's favorite is on today. Bookchild says Tombot has dignity apparently, I guess. Jacob has some tood with Leslie today. Z Hicks says Leslie looks lovely in the dress. Empress Kelly says, I hope Naomi's new storyline isn't giving her cancer. I would hope not after Anita's storyline. I would definitely take a break from the show if Naomi had cancer too. In the same year. Well, we are in for a snooze today. A snooze and a half. Bookchild says, no more cancer, please. Let her be pregnant or something. I don't love a pregnancy storyline, but I'll take it over cancer. Aaliyah says, I don't know if we're going to get any excitement today. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get any excitement the rest of this week, which makes me apprehensive to do these watch alongs every day. Some days I'd be tired. I don't have a lot to say. I don't want to just sit here staring at the screen. Embers Kai says, I'm holding out for Friday's episode, hoping we get a cliffhanger then. I would be shocked if we do. Lorena says, I want Naomi to just tell them and let it be. Her character's annoying. Yeah, I still don't know why she's still keeping this a secret from everyone. Doesn't really make sense. Hello, Marcus. Welcome back. You can't watch right now. You're not missing much. Bobby says, I'll take a break from the show if the writers make Joey Isaiah's father. Fair. Bookchild says, I was too lazy to join Tuesday. I don't blame you. Aaliyah says, right before I found your watch alongs, I used to watch at night to speed through commercials. Lucky you. Honestly, that week off hurt because you can't take a week off and then come back with the same old boring shit. Lorena thinks Joey and Shanice's aunt used today. That would kind of be a random. But I wouldn't be surprised if they try a way to put Joey in yet another storyline. Bookchild says Kat healed faster than Grayson. True. And Eva's healing pretty quick too. Hello, Zachariah. Actually, Monday's episode was okay. Yesterday's was boring, and I fear the rest of the week is going to be boring. Aaliyah says, I spent the week off angry that we had to wait, and now it's like, boo. You know it's a filler day when we got Jan and Mona having a scene. I feel like they just randomly put Mona in episodes to randomly talk about diabetes. Exactly, Aaliyah. Bookchild says Mondays was fun because Tomas was humiliated in front of everyone. That did help. Yes, Kathy, Mona and Jen are filler. Book Chalice says, I don't want a diabetes lecture after months of cancer. Yeah. Bobby says all of these health storylines on this show. I think this is what happens when you have a 70 something writing a show, because that's probably their life, unfortunately. Kaiwan, are you saying you want them to kill off Grayson or you don't think they will? Lorena says, why does Mona have to have diabetes and where's Jan's storyline? I don't know. They gave Jan a boyfriend just to never follow up on it. Ugh. As usual, the writing doesn't make sense, you know. Leslie just so gung ho over Grayson having a job, but wants to make sure Monica's not a criminal, even though she knows Grayson was a criminal. Lorena, I hope we never get Ashley's dad. We don't need her having more of a tie to the show. Kathy says, I don't care about Jen, Mona, Grayson, and Ashley. They are boring. I agree completely. Good point, Bobby. Leslie spends money on everything else. Why not just get a PI? I can say I hate every storyline on today. Aaliyah, I'd rather watch an emergency system test alert. Yeah, I think every single thing today is filler. Hello, Lisa B, who says, why is Leslie looking into someone else when she tried to murder someone? Because she's delusional, I guess. Lorena says, "Wait, why is Leslie on Monica?" I assume it's a combination of things of she's Shanice's aunt, and the last chief of staff was a criminal. Kathy asks, "Why don't they just wrap up the Bill and Haley storyline?" I don't think these writers know how to wrap it up. They don't know how to get payoffs, so I don't think they know how to wrap it up. Bookchild says, "I can't wait for Monica to kick Leslie's clinic to the curb." Me too. Amber's Kelly says, "I guess Monica will be Leslie's new enemy." I guess, but that does not excite me at all. Hello, Dee Dee. Welcome back. Amber's Kelly says, technically it's Samantha's clinic, but Leslie funded it and put her name on it. Yeah. Then Vanessa got Doug's name put on it too. Lisa B says, because they will never wrap up Leslie's storyline, I guess we are supposed to forget what she did. I guess. Boccello calling them expired storylines is the correct description. Hello, Chizen, who says we need new writers for Beyond the Gates, and Haley needs to face her actions, and Leslie too. Me either, Embers Kelly. Grayson and Ashley are just. This is what makes me not want to watch live is Grayson and Ashley episodes. I think I will let you all know that if I am doing these watch alongs starting next week, I'm going to be watching Big Brother live feeds at the same time because they might be more interesting than these episodes. Lorena says Grayson still seems like he's hiding something. I mean, if they're going to have a storyline, maybe he needs to be hiding something because what's the point of it? They're just speeding through dating. Bookchild says, "Oh, she forgave real quick, but gave Derek nothing but grief." Yes, another reason why are we even watching this? Lisa B says, "If we stop watching this whole week, you could probably wrap up this whole week in 15 minutes." Yeah, the Tomas stuff's the only thing that's moving, but also, who cares? Embers Kai says Tomas is stupid as fuck. Now it's about him being a man to provide for Kay. He's all over the place. Bobby asks, "Do the bartender know Grayson?" Maybe. Kathy says Grace and Ashley are like watching paint dry. They bring nothing to the show. Agreed wholeheartedly. Marcus, I agree. I hope the cast is good this year and entertaining. Lisa B says, I thought Grayson only signed up for just a few episodes. When is his time up? Clearly, it's not a few episodes. Clearly, he is now a part of the cast. Amber's Kelly says, now Tomas has an issue with perception because people will think he's with Kat for her money if he moves into the condo. Again, Tomas all over the place. Kathy says, Kat, break up with this loser already. Bye, Tomas. If only, but we're going to have to suffer through that relationship until the wheels fall off, I guess. Hello, Cassie E. I am struggling to stay awake during this episode. How are you? Marcus, honestly, you could probably watch this episode in 5 to 10 minutes later. Lorena says Naomi will tell him, then he'll start overreacting and spiraling. You think so? Oh, Cassie, sorry to hear that. Are you doing better now? Doc Backhand says, I prefer watching paint dry. You know, my gut was telling me this might be a rough day for a watch along, but I didn't listen. See you later, Aaliyah. Aaliyah is bowing out. Gonna watch the rest later. Cassie E says, I hate that Ted always goes to Shanice's aunt. I wonder if they're going to try to put them together next. You think Ted's going to have an affair with Shanice's aunt? It's kind of up Ted's alley. Like that's a little too messy for this show. Glad you're doing better, Cassie. Marcus said she kept that secret from Jacob for 6 months. Has it really been 6 months? I guess it probably has, huh? Wild, wild secret to keep for so fucking long. And if I say that should make Jacob want to have an affair with Kat, would I be wrong? Lorena says, where's Ted's real friends he can talk to? I guess he would have to talk to Carlton, who's after his ex wife. That's Ted's real friend. Bookchild says all he has is Bill and Andre, not good company. Yeah, and Andre's related to him. At least Andre is a good guy. Didi says Cat is buying a condo for the wrong reason. Yeah. Bookchild says I never understood the appeal of Big Brother. It's only for those of us that enjoy strategy games. But honestly, the episodes of Big Brother suck. You have to watch the live feeds to actually enjoy the show. Bookchild says, I swear the actress who plays Naomi is over her character's relationship with Jacob. Bring on Jat or Jacob. And bring on, if they're going to torture us with Ashley, bring on Nashley too. Exactly, Bookchild. Naomi's soulmates. What's up, Devin? Welcome to the sleep inducing watch along today. Bookchella is sick of the ladies who lunch segments. Yeah, Cassie, I know. I think that's why it would probably work better. Maybe Ashley would have chemistry with someone too. Marcus, I hope your doctor's appointment went well. Kaiwan says, I hope he's spitting in his drink. I'll be spitting in his drink, that idiot. This is all going to be because so Grayson can get a bartender job. Ember's guy said the mean bartender made a better impression than some of the main cast. True. Oh, these scenes are genuinely pointless. Doc Backhand says, "Why is Church Lady on today? Give her something consequential to do or let her go. Grayson will be the new bartender. Bet he gets good tips." The last thing I need to see is people telling Grayson their problems. Dee Dee, I don't think it's that deep. I think it's just to get Grayson a job. Like, we're supposed to care. Bookchild says, plus Grayson being the new bartender will put him in contact with the rest of the cast. Maybe that will help his character not be so dependent on Ashley. I guess that's a positive way to look at it. What's stupid to me though is like, why couldn't Grayson just do this in the first place then instead of getting into shady dealings at the hospital? If a second bartender job is going to be enough to help with his mom. Taiwan says because he's an idiot, he's just a thoughtless idiot. He doesn't want to work three jobs. Bookchild says it's called lazy character development and lazy writing. Yeah, I know. Lorena says watch him start bartending, then selling drugs. And I bet Ashley would give him a third chance if he started selling drugs. This might be the least notes I've taken for an episode. So the review later gonna be short. Bookchild says, I would have rather him come on as a hot new bartender who has a shady connection to Joey. That would have been better than this Impaler story. Yeah, the Impaler storyline was such a terrible storyline. And like, we still have Joey's sister around apparently, but like, does the Impaler still matter? Yes, Kathy, today's episode absolutely sucks. Amber's Kelly says Heather vamped away. Jacob seems to be thinking of other things than Derek's death. True. At this point, I might be okay with them turning Heather into a vampire like Port Charles. I'd take that over all of today's storylines. Bookchild says the writers always do this: introduce a new character or story, and then drop it for weeks at a time. Yeah, that helps. or hurts getting the character over. Convenient that he still has his certificate. Marcus says if the actor playing Grayson had been a bad boy, police officer, crook, lying no good brother, bad lab nurse, and lying boyfriend. I mean, he has been most of those things. Embers Callie says, I don't think the bartending storyline is going to be some exciting storyline unless Joey gets involved. I don't think it's going to be exciting either. It's going to be like a lot of these storylines. Bookchild says Grayson should really be fired from the hospital and working as a new bartender. That would have made more sense, him losing his other job. This is what Leslie does. Bookchild says Leslie is not good at being humble, neither is Mona. I agree. Lorena wants Leslie to go on somewhere. I think Mona wants her to do that too. And I'm ready for this episode to go on somewhere. I mean, I guess I kind of get Tomas's concerns, but again, he sucks. This relationship sucks. Bookchild says since they are reforming Leslie, this show needs an actual villain. It can't keep on like this. I mean, isn't that Joey, who's in everyone's business, even though they also write him as the gangster with the heart of gold? Empress Kelly says Cat will always be a Dupree, and in this community, she may always be seen as better than him. Kathy says maybe an earthquake will kill him. If a tornado couldn't, I don't have faith in an earthquake. Book Child says, I have a feeling Cat and Tomas won't break up until November sweeps. If even then, honestly. Dee Dee says, what's with Cat's look while hugging Tomas? I don't know. Cassie E says Tomas is going to get hurt while he's in Puerto Rico. Is that how they're going to get rid of him? I wish I had the faith like you all that they're going to get rid of him. Cheryl Hines is also asking, what if something happens to Tomas in Puerto Rico? Cheryl Hines said, Leslie is making the Cat Eva trauma about her as always. Jan is an opportunist, not a friend. You think Jan's just friends with Leslie because she has money now? Lorena says, Jan is definitely an opportunist that needs to find her own business to tend to. Bookchella says, Joey isn't a villain. They have no villains. They ruin them. Joey likes making cooking videos, and Leslie just likes to be an annoying gossip. You're not wrong. What about Haley? I mean, she's trying to kill Bill. It's never going to happen. It's never going to move, but nonetheless. As Cassie E says, don't forget to hit the like button for all of our suffering today through this episode. Cassie E says, Joey is not Sunny, not even close. No, not at all. If they wanted a Sonny Corinthos like character, it should have been someone younger than Joey. Embers Callie says Haley's killing Bill with hand sanitizer. Fugcha says Haley ain't killing Bill. She might as well be giving him vitamin D3. Thank you all for the laughs. Lisa B says this episode is dragging. It really is. There's still 2 more segments. It's killing me. Sheila Hines says the villains on Beyond the Gates really suck. Yep, they ruined all of them because this show doesn't like action and it's allergic to drama. Lorena says Haley's real family needs to show up and expose her. I mean, I could go for that. Ambrose Callie says they need to revive Lynette. I, of course, could go for that too. Bookshot says they can kill Tomas in a plane crash in Puerto Rico like Dark Shadows killed Burke Devlin a century ago. Embers Kai says, I feel like they haven't killed Tomas off yet because it'll be a mourning period for Kat and affect her being that's her first love. Could be. Bobby says the writers did all that so Grayson might end up a bartender. Yes, smell the drama, smell the excitement, smell the creativity. Bookchild says Kat will get over in Jacob's arms while he mourns his failed marriage to Naomi, who lied to him for months. You think these writers would go there? Exactly, Embers Kelly. Like Bookchild said, we're getting Nashley. But I agree, Bookchild. We need drama, romance, betrayal, and some hope. Big on the hope. Marcus, what was your favorite soap opera? Well, Monica holds a grudge. That's something I kind of like about her. Embers Kai says, so Monica's cutting off the free clinic, which will now be understaffed, and people will go without because Leslie's a salty bitch. It is pretty damn petty. Bookchella, Mona, and Jen are busybodies. Kathy says they have more excitement on Saturday morning cartoon. I haven't seen a Saturday morning cartoon in a long time, but I'm sure they have more action than Beyond the Gates. Laura is a character we never see, but we always got to see Mona and Jan. Dee Dee says, I don't like Monica holding a grudge. The free clinic helps others. Yeah, it's true. Amber's Kai says, I want them to find someone else to fund the free clinic and kick Leslie out. Bocelli is all for Monica being a bitch about Leslie. We need drama. Yeah, that's true. At least that is some version of drama. Yeah, Cassie, I think, because of the way Leslie was with Shanice. At least we're in the last segment. Yeah, Dee Dee, the Duprees and Ted might not like it. Cheryl says Martin and Smitty should fund the clinic since it was Samantha's idea in the first place. That's true. Brooke Jones says Ted can go walk a plank over shark infested waters for all I care. Go, Monica. At least Kat's maybe finally admitting that she's not so happy in this relationship. Yeah, Amber's Kelly, nothing like Tomas having a scene with himself. Boo, all a test. No drama anywhere. Lorraine, I think we'll see Madison one time this week for her, once every 3-week appearance. Bookchella is glad Madison's not on today. I like Chelsea. I would take her over almost any character that's on today. Dee, you think Kat's new interest will be Isaiah? Another triangle with Eva, or you're saying the other brother we don't know? Hmm, the middle brother. Bookchella, I fear they have already ruined Shanice's character for Ted. You know, Naomi and Jacob are a terrible couple when any episode that centers on their relationship or their anniversary or their just, love for each other is probably some of the most boring episodes in the history of the show. Well, we survived that episode. Don't have much to say about today's episode. Don't even know what I'm going to say in the review later, but I'm going to try. Um, uh, there's no way I'm going to do both days watch alongs the next 2 days because I think they're going to be as boring as today's episode was. But I'll probably attempt to suffer through another live episode tomorrow. But Friday, I don't think I'm going to do a watch along. But I love you all for joining me. Y'all crack me up, especially today. Y'all had some great jokes. So keep that up when I do have watch alongs, especially on days that might put us to sleep otherwise. So I will see you all later.